What grade has Wren Baker earned in his first year overseeing the West Virginia Athletic Department as its athletics director? I'm going to give you my thoughts on it and tell you what grade I give him right after this word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front on any new or pre-loved vehicle in stock every time. With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing and ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for. Check out our inventory across West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com or come in today to the home of friends and family pricing, only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store near you. What is up? Come on in. Welcome to another episode of Couz's Corner. Make yourself comfortable. Belly yourself up to the bar and let me serve you up another shot of top-shelf college football content. Today at Couz's Corner, on tap, we are talking about Wren Baker, West Virginia's AD. He was hired at West Virginia in late 2022. He's been on the job just over a year, 14 months to be technical, as I record this video. So what grade would I give Wren Baker? Well, at the end of this, I will tell you what grade I give him. But first, I want to give you justification for my grade and kind of go over the negatives and the positives of Wren Baker's tenure so far as athletic director. First, before I get into that, though, I want to tell you, I got the idea for this video, actually, from one of the writers over at Couz'sCorner.com, over at my website. I'll leave a link to the full article. But one of my writers over there, Zach Siegel, had the idea that we should all do a joint article where we all grade Wren Baker and give justification for our grade. This is kind of me giving you my version of it in video form. You can check out everyone else's grade and my full write-up by checking the article out once this video is done. And again, I'll leave a link in the description box. But let's start off with the negatives. Wren Baker, in year one, what were the negatives? Well, you've got to look at the basketball program. Yes, Bob Huggins is the one who got the DUI. He's, in my opinion, mostly to blame for what's going on with the West Virginia basketball program. I get all that. But they did finish 9-22. And it was Wren Baker who put Josh Allard in that seat as interim coach. And Josh and that staff and that team, whether it's fair or not, didn't live up to expectations. There were some talented guys on the roster, but you can debate how hard did those guys play game in, game out. You can debate if the roster was put together as far as, evenly. Did you have enough guys who were good at certain things? Where's it the right pieces for the puzzle, so to speak? That's a fair argument to make. And if you want to, you could even argue where the X's and O's part of the game with Allard's coaching and whatnot, was that wrong as well? But at the end of the day, you've got to lay that at Wren Baker's feet a little bit, that he is the one who decided to put Josh Allard in that chair. Also, you could argue that had he done it sooner, had he put Josh Allard in that position a little bit quicker, if that was the direction he was going to go, would it have kept a few of the guys from transferring out? Guys like Joe Toussaint, Trey Mitchell, Mo McGee, James Okonkwo. Would those players have stayed at West Virginia if Wren had made the decision faster? We don't know the answer to that question, but it's fair to ask it. So because of that, that is one thing I think you have to critique Wren on a little bit. Even though he doesn't get, in my opinion, the majority of the blame for the situation, he does, in my opinion, have some accountability in the basketball team having one of the worst seasons in program history. But I'll be honest with you, I couldn't find a lot more negatives on Wren Baker, especially when you consider what he walked into at West Virginia. He walked in the midst of the football program having its worst four-year stretch since Don Nehlen took over the program in 1980. And lo and behold, Wren Baker's first full season as AD, what happens? West Virginia wins 9 games. First time since, 2016 that they won 9 games? And it was his first 4 years AD. Have to give him a little bit of credit there. Also, he walked in to a tough situation with the women's basketball program. Don Plitzowite, who was hired just 1 year prior by former AD Shane Lyons, took the West Virginia women's team to the NCAA tournament. Boom. They lose a game. She leaves out the back door in a controversial manner after the NCAA tournament game and goes to Minnesota. So all of a sudden, Wren Baker has to hire a women's basketball coach just a few months into the job. What does he do? He hits an absolute home run by going out and hiring Mark Kellogg, for the second time, I might add, because he also hired him when he was AD at Northwest Missouri State. But he hires Mark Kellogg, and in 1 year, Mark Kellogg has West Virginia tied for fourth in the Big 12 Conference, going to the NCAA tournament, ranked in the top 25. And by the way, they also play a very, very fun style of basketball and press full court pretty much the whole game. So he hits a home run with Mark Kellogg, in my opinion. So there's another positive. He goes out and hires a really good volleyball coach who's had past success at Washington State. The wrestling program. Now, these are non-revenue sports, but they do matter. They are a part of the athletic department he oversees. The wrestling program is doing well and just had a wrestler just yesterday. I'm recording this on March 11th, March 10th. It comes out that Ty Waters, a freshman on the West Virginia wrestling team, wins the Big 12 championship in the 149-pound weight class. So congrats to Ty Waters. Wrestling program, congrats, doing well. The baseball team in Wren's first year wins a share of the Big 12 title for the first time since joining the conference. So congrats to Randy Mazey, staff, players, and, of course, Wren Baker. Another tough situation. After the season, Randy Mazey announces he's going to step down and resign as coach. He's going to retire. Wren makes the decision to hire a coach in waiting who's already an assistant on that staff. His name has escaped my mind at the moment, but he's arguably, from everything I've read, one of the top assistant coaches in the country in college baseball, is largely responsible for the talent that's on the West Virginia roster now. And Wren decided to name him coach in waiting, which, at least for now, looks like it's probably going to be the right decision. So kudos to the baseball program and what he's been able to do there. The men's soccer team made the Final Four under Wren Baker's leadership. Then you look at what he's done with NIL at West Virginia. Wren Baker has improved West Virginia's competitiveness in the NIL space ever since he walked in the door. That's one of the things Shane Lyons was not good at. Shane Lyons did not want to embrace NIL. He was a compliance guy, had worked most of his career in compliance, was on NCAA compliance committees. He was not willing to get into the gray area with NIL. Well, Wren Baker is. As long as he's not stepping over any lines, Wren Baker's willing to do what it takes to keep West Virginia competitive. He's willing to promote Country Roads Trust, the West Virginia NIL Collective. He was willing to let coaches promote Country Roads Trust, the school's NIL Collective. They started doing that. Country Roads Trust sees a huge uptick in membership, in donations, in support. And I think you have to give Wren Baker credit for that. Yes, you also have to give credit to the folks at Country Roads Trust. I get that. You have to give credit to the donors, the fan base. All of those people deserve credit, but you also have to look at Wren Baker, who was leading the athletic department when that happened. Neil Brown was able to retain majority of his players on the football team for the first time since NIL became a thing. The two previous seasons, West Virginia had lost dozens of guys to the portal, including a lot of starters. Did not happen as much after the 2023 season. They were able to retain majority of their talent, their key talent. People like Jaheim White, Garrett Green, C.J. Donaldson, just to name a few, Trey Lathan. Guys who were likely getting calls from other schools trying to get them to transfer. But with Neil Brown, Wren Baker, Country Roads Trust, the work everyone was able to do, they were able to retain most of those guys. They did lose a couple, but not from positions that I don't think they can afford to lose them from. He's a great fundraiser. He's came up with unique ways to raise revenue from West Virginia. He's continuing to look at even more ways to do so going forward. You know, when it comes to naming rights and other things, he's thinking outside the box in ways that other ADs may not have done, because a lot of ADs get hung up on tradition. Well, Wren Baker understands we're in a new world now in college athletics. You either have to get on board with the changes or you get left behind. And with Wren Baker at the helm of West Virginia's athletic department, I don't think West Virginia will get left behind. I have a lot of faith in his ability to do the job and to keep West Virginia competitive. The key thing is West Virginia is going to have to keep Wren Baker. He's going to be a candidate for a lot of jobs in the future, more than likely, because he's extremely respected in the industry and he's good at his job. That means when openings come at bigger schools, his name may be on the list every single time, and West Virginia's going to have to deal with that. Can they keep him? He's that good, folks. He's that good that I think he will be candidate for many jobs in the future. So what overall grade do I give Wren Baker? I'm sure you can tell it's going to be a good one. I give him a B+. The only thing that kept me from giving Wren Baker an A is the performance of the basketball team. Again, and I didn't give him lower than a B plus because I don't think most of it's his fault. I think he did the best he could with the hand he was dealt. He got, as I like to say, he was trying to make chicken salad out of chicken poop, and he did the best he could. There are not many coaches, or there are not many ADs, in my opinion, that would have been able to handle that situation any better than Wren Baker. Maybe I'm wrong. That's just my opinion. But they did go 9-22, so I docked him a little bit for that, but only, like I said, only from an A to a B plus. I want to hear your grade. What grade would you give Wren Baker today so far? And again, if you want to say we should hold out judgment until he goes and hires a men's basketball coach, that's fair. But I'm looking at today, right now, up to this point, what grade would you give Wren Baker? Paul and I will do a separate episode on the basketball hire once it's done over at Hoops from the Hills. By the way, please go subscribe to us on that channel. We'll be covering the coaching search. Matter of fact, we've already started it. So go check it out, Hoops from the Hills. Go subscribe and like and do all that kind of stuff. But we will do separate videos on that. But right now, when you look at the totality of the job Wren Baker has done, I give him a B plus. Right now, I want to remind you guys that I have formed a partnership with West Virginia Sports Now, wvsportsnow.com. If you join the Holler, which is their VIP membership access, it's called the Holler. If you join that with promo code Couz, you save 40% on your first year of membership. Instead of paying $34.99, you will pay $20.99. You get ad-free content. You get behind-the-scenes content, things no one else gets without that membership. Also want to give a shout-out to my VIP member shout-outs of the day. Liam Codron, Denny Allen, Timothy Hetrick Jr., and David Cummings. Thank you all for your membership. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for helping me keep the lights on here at Couz's Corner. If you want to be a VIP member and join the exclusive club, hit the join button below. You can join for $2.99 a month or $4.99 a month. There are perks that go along with it, like early access to content, limited ads, merch discounts, all that for club level members. And of course, if you're a pub level member or club level member, you get VIP member shout outs during episodes. Another easy way to support me, of course, like, share, comment, subscribe. And you can check out this video right here if you want to hear more about West Virginia Mountaineer sports. With that being said, have a top shelf day and cue country roads.